This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
It's going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
What's going on, everybody? Guys and girls, welcome back to another edition of the SmackDown Review right here on the WWE Podcast. As always, I'm one of the hosts of this show, Michael Ritter. You can find me on Twitter at Michael5Ritter, and also one of the hosts of the Football Function Podcast, available on all of your podcasting platforms, including on Patreon if you prefer an ad-free experience. Joining me on today's episode, per usual, my humble co-host, John Carrasco. You can find him on Twitter at BIGG_speaker. John, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Not gonna lie, I'm a little exhausted today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a crunch, given the fact that we started a little late and everything like that at work. But other than that, still kicking, trying to finish the day strong, I guess you could say. But yeah, here on this lovely Friday, ready to knock this SmackDown review out, and yeah, let's get it going.
Oh yeah, appreciate you taking over last week. Obviously, the Celtics had a game against the Miami Heat. Was that game one? I don't remember if it was game one or if it was game two.
I think it was two.
Was it game two?
Yeah.
Not really sure. But either way, a lot has changed in just about a week with that series and just with life in general. Obviously today, well, it's really the past couple days, I've been dealing with a swollen face. You might hear it throughout portions of this episode just with some words, and it's hard to talk whenever your mouth is swollen. I'm dealing with like a wisdom tooth type of issue right now. Probably gonna have to lead to a surgery, a wisdom tooth extraction. It is what it is. I've already done it before. Not looking forward to doing it again. I hope that it just passes and it was just like a really bad toothache that just so happened to make my face swell up. But that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. So we are rolling through this. We are I guess just tugging along in a sense to talk about the SmackDown that aired on May 26th, 2023. But spoiler alert, it did not take place on May 26th, 2023. Obviously, we're recording this on May 26th, the night that the show aired, which we'll get into in a little bit, I guess. Roman Reigns' 999th day as champion this May 26th. By the time you're listening to this, it will be his 1,000th day, most likely. And it'll be the day of Night of Champions. And that's kind of why we always record live now, but we're kind of sort of trying to get this bad boy dropped in a timely manner so you guys can absorb it and consume it before the actual PLE starts. And that's ties the whole thing back to what I was talking about, this being pre-recorded, is because the WWE talent, a lot of the people who are featured here on SmackDown tonight, are actually in Saudi Arabia for the Night of Champions pay-per-view. It's going to be a pretty phenomenal pay-per-view just because of the fact that the World Heavyweight Championship is being reintroduced. I love it. Definitely excited about that. So this show, in terms of SmackDown, shouldn't be too noteworthy, right? It's a go-home show for a pay-per-view, so it should. But because it's pre-taped, it shouldn't be, right?
Hey, I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying is, from what we've already seen in the show, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to get better, obviously, with the Kevin Owens show. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa joining him on that. So, yeah, John and I here to talk about SmackDown, the 137th SmackDown that we've been doing here with the Blue Brand Brawlers. And really quickly, like I just mentioned, 999 days for Roman Reigns. Almost 1,000. It damn sure feels like it, I tell you that. But they're not really shoving it down our throats. So that's kind of why it's just been, like, it's come so quick. Like, damn, we're already here. All right, well, I'm ready to embrace it and see how much longer it goes. I was very much so of the belief that once he beat Cody at WrestleMania, it really didn't matter. Like, I was like, all right, he'll get 1,000 days. It's a little benchmark. You're gonna do it, so once he beat Cody at Mania, I knew that we were probably in for another lengthy run here, and definitely seems like that's what's going to happen. But nonetheless, we can go ahead and get into this episode of SmackDown before we get too far behind in what's going on the actual TV, given that this is a live review. So the show actually started with Austin Theory and Sheamus, United States Championship match. And really quickly, a little bit of a sidebar, this is the first U.S. title match on SmackDown in a very long time. At least now that the U.S. title is officially back on SmackDown. It probably was defended on SmackDown right before the show became SmackDown Live, quote unquote, because, back in like 2015, there was no brand split. So all the titles got defended on both shows if they were going to give us a free TV title defense. There was no, specific brand that each title was on. But Austin Theory does successfully retain his United States Championship after a pretty deadly interference. They actually attacked the Brutes outside of the ring. Not Sheamus, but it still distracted Sheamus. So it allowed Austin Theory to steal a win. What do you think about Austin Theory successfully defending his championship?
Well, I mean, I'm still getting used to him being over here. Of course, the draft and everything shook everything up. And just seeing his face on the blue side, I guess, is just not normal to me yet. So I mean,
still adjusting.
Just rolling with it. But other than that, I mean, of course, he's coming over here. He's bringing, what would you say, his talent with him, his fans with him, stuff like that. So it's definitely a positive. But yeah, man, still have to get used to this. But him doing or defending the championship, figured that was going to kind of happen. Didn't like the way it happened, I guess you could say. Figured the match could have been a real beatdown between the two. But hey, man, I'm not complaining.
I feel like big things are going to store for Austin Theory here on SmackDown. Yeah. Just seems like a good fit. I don't know why. I just have that gut feeling. But immediately after that match, we get a backstage segment with the Bloodline. And this was intense, man. I'm gonna be honest. This keeps getting better. And I was on record before the show started talking to you, telling you that I really wasn't feeling the Bloodline storyline before, the Usos angle started coming in, where there's some obvious tension and some obvious animosity here. Last week was pretty good, just with the little stare down between Solo and Roman. But this little segment was just different, obviously. Paul Heyman's telling them that they're not going to Saudi. Next week, they will be on SmackDown, and they'll be able to talk to Roman Reigns and all that stuff. He's pretty much getting into that. And Jimmy, for whatever reason, he's just not taking anything too serious, or he just doesn't care. He just doesn't give two you-know-whats about what's going on with Roman Reigns and what he feels, because he was just kind of laughing. Hey, let's go eat. Come on, let's go eat. And he stands up, and Roman tells him to sit down. He legitimately says, no, sit down. And Jimmy doesn't listen. He's just standing there, staring a hole through Roman. So Roman Reigns stands up, and he just pretty much tells him to do something. He's like, no, you're standing up. You got a real good, mean face, but what are you going to do, it's just like whenever we were kids. I beat you up then. I'll beat you up now. Like, this was some intense stuff here because, like, obviously there is some truth to that.
Yeah.
Like, they've been on record, the Usos saying, like, Roman Reigns was, like, the big dog when they were younger. Obviously he wouldn't play D1 football for a reason. He was an absolute beast. So this was just, interesting doesn't even, like, begin to describe it, because it made me feel something again, and it made me think, oh my gosh, like, something's going to happen here. And there's multiple routes they can go with this. We talked about it before the show. Like, are they going to have Jimmy Uso be the one who eventually gets beat down by Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso's loyalty is going to be tested? Or is he going to stay with Roman? Is that going to lead to the collision between Roman and Jey? Or is Jimmy not going to get beat down because Jey Uso's stepping in and because Jey Uso is protecting him? And that leads to the eventual collision. So there's multiple ways they can go here, but either way, I feel like sign me up, and I'm ready to go along for the ride.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've kind of been on the board with this, of course, like you said, you had kind of fell off and everything like that after, but man, I kind of saw this. I wouldn't say saw this exactly how this happened, because of course Thomas, he was always telling me, little side things too, and he was kind of the one that was starting to put little nuggets in my head, so this is kind of a little shout out to him, I guess you could say. But other than that, man, yeah, I'm all for this. I can't Well, I can wait for this to happen. You know, I'm excited to see SmackDown every week just because we know that we're going to get a little bit more of this little situation that they got going. And like you said, man, this is interesting to me, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of development with this is probably going to happen a little bit later. I mean, Night of Champions, we said, right? Like, are they going to take the titles off the Usos? Or, I mean, off of Sami and KO, I apologize. So if they do you expect the Usos to get involved? I don't know. This could be where they redeem themselves. This could be where they cost Roman and Solo. Like, I hate that this pay-per-view is at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to screw us.
Early.
Come on, Rain. Give us a rain out. Allow me and Jonathan here to be off work so we can enjoy this, because I don't want to miss it. Like, because at first I was like kicking myself. The Celtics play tomorrow, Game 6, obviously massive game, 7:30 Central Time. So I was like, man, PLEs are usually at nighttime. I didn't think, dude, it's in Saudi Arabia. What are you freaking thinking? Come on, it's gonna be early in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I need that rain to hit pretty hard and pretty fast. But let's see. Let's go ahead and move on here. We get Raquel and Shotzi. They get a tag team match versus Damage Control, specifically Bayley and Io Sky. And really quickly here, shout out to Dakota Kai. You know, she's going to be missing some time. Suffered an ACL injury trying to protect Liv Morgan. This is your reminder. This is not fake. Scripted is different than fake. What these superstars, what these wrestlers are doing is life-threatening, legitimately. People have died in the ring. So it's not like this is something where they're guaranteed to go home and be the exact same person that they were before they stepped into the arena. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to quickly give a little shout-out to Dakota Kai, because, you know, she was really starting to come over or go over with me, and I was starting to come around to, you know, because I wasn't really high on her, just being honest. I just wasn't high on her in NXT, and, you know, the call-up, I felt like Damage Control was a little bit... It's not like my cup of tea, but I understand what they're there for and what they're doing. And Dakota Kai is somebody who, as of lately, was slowly climbing up on my radar. But let's hope she gets a speedy recovery. Here in May, there's a shot that she can be back for the Rumble. We'll see, though. I mean, you never know these days who's going to be involved in that spectacular event. But how'd this match go, the tag team match?
Well, I mean, this one pretty good. I thought the pairing between Shotzi and Raquel, I mean, was good even before they had their little split up and everything like that. So yeah, them bringing them back together, the chemistry was there and everything. So I felt like this was just a easy replace, I guess you could say. Not saying Shotzi's up there with Liv Morgan. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, you're high on Liv,
but I'm not mad with the replacement. Shotzi, she got some energy. She got some. She wants to show WWE Universe what she got to give. So I mean, I feel like she's in this little situation, to elevate herself in a way. But other than that, man, the match was pretty good. I do like I believe it was like the little suicide dives that Shotzi's doing out of the ring. Between the ropes. Raquel, where stands on the middle rope, holds the other one. She just flies through her legs, I guess.
Yeah.
But those are pretty nice. But ending, definitely a little head scratcher there. It looked like Io Sky went to go do a little something off the top ropes, hits.
Little moonsault?
Moonsault hits Shotzi. And Raquel, she ends up sneaking off the pin on Bayley for the 1-2-3.
Oh, dadgum.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, I guess you could say. I mean, it's good that
Raquel's a beast. She could have a tag team championship run with a mop as her tag team partner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like she can beat two women at once and just, all right, this is my partner, screw it.
Right.
Like she can carry the team. But let's see, up next we get another match. We get Cameron Grimes versus Ashanti the Adonis, representing Hit Row, who is back for the first time in a long time. Did not know they were on SmackDown. Is it too late to trade? We'll give you Hit Row.
They're the free agents.
We'll give you Hit Row as a group. Talking about Raw. Yeah, we'll give them Hit Row as a group. Our ring announcer and a women's wrestler to be named on a later date if we just get Samantha Irvin back. So they get their ring announcer, the replacement. We swap that, but on top of the just swap ring announcers, They're also getting Hit Row and a women's wrestler to be named on a later date. See, we're negotiating here.
That is a good trade.
We're negotiating here because you never know what could happen to Raw down the line. You know, they could need a women's wrestler, and then bam, a pop hits, and Asuka comes out. You know, just something along those lines. And we want Samantha Irvin back, okay? You got to spend money to make money, champ. But
I'm all for it.
Either way, let's continue on here. Cameron Grimes, he gets his second consecutive dominant win. Not as quickly as he beat Corbin whenever he had that, 2-second match, whatever it was. Oh, yeah. But speaking of Corbin, he comes out as Grimes is working his way up the ramp, has his back turned at the stage. Who else comes out but Corbin and attacks him from behind? So that is the feud we're going to get going forward. Looking forward to it for sure. But what do you think about this? What do you think about Grimes having a pretty hot start here on SmackDown?
I mean, it's good. And I mean, it gets me like more noticing him, I guess you could say, in a way. But other than that, man, kind of got to give it up to Ashanti. Like I said, he kind of does his little ring work, you know, made him look good in a way. So, I mean, I'd say a little round of applause on the other side too as well. But as long as Flop Dollar's not in the ring, man, I'm cool with it, you know.
Yeah.
Him and B-Fab chill on the outside, do whatever they got to do. But other than that, man, yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good match. And, yeah, a good way to keep the little feud going between him and Corbin. So that's interesting.
Oh, for sure. Okay, up next here on the show, we get Bianca Belair. She confirms that she'll be defending her title against Asuka at Night of Champions. And then Asuka's music hits. But as obviously Bianca's looking, hey, where the hell are you at? You coming from the ramp? She gets attacked from behind. And she doesn't, you know, despite cheap shotting Bianca, she doesn't steal the momentum because Bianca has a chance to successfully hit the KOD. And some deputy dip, you know what, ring official, wrestling official, whoever the hell it wasn't like a referee. It was an actual WWE official in a suit.
Yeah.
They like catches Asuka. Like, since when do they get involved and prevent finishing moves from happening? I haven't seen anybody jump in front of a spear or anything like that. So I thought that was a little bit strange for sure. That official just got involved like that. We both caught it and we were like, what the hell was that? You know, like that just doesn't ever happen.
Yeah, it was just strange, you know, for her. Like, but it was like so well played off, you know, how she hit the shoulder of his, you know, and stood right back up. So I mean, it kind of worked out for her to escape that little situation that she was in. But yeah, definitely. What would you say? F on his part.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if that dude, he deserves to get the KOD now for sure. But yeah, we'll get that match tomorrow night, and as the show continues to go on tonight, you and I will be making our predictions. We're not going to do it at the end of the show like we would usually do. We're going to kind of sprinkle them in, you know, throughout the review. Up next, LA Knight versus Rick Boogs, and this right here stems from last week's shenanigans. They just showed the highlight, but you were telling me about it before because I missed this part, where LA Knight turned on him because they lost the tag match. I feel like that tag team had a little bit of potential. Now, LA Knight is much better than being in a tag team. I will say that. I think that he does have a nice singles run in him. But, I don't know, I just thought that was strange but funny nonetheless. LA Knight's one of the funny heels. You know, unintentional. I just feel like just his character is one of those dudes that just comes off as... He's got a comedy, a little comedy wrinkle to his character. But as this match is going on, LA Knight well in control right now with referee Jessica Carr trying to get him off of him in the turnbuckle. And then obviously the Street Profits guests on commentary, though we have it muted so we can talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these matches that are going to be going on tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon, I apologize. Night of Champions. Today, whenever you're listening to this show, hopefully, we do appreciate you allowing us to be part of your pay-per-view preparation.
There you go.
If you will.
That works.
Let's go and start with the Intercontinental Championship match. Mustafa Ali versus Gunther. Who do you got here?
This is definitely a Gunther all the way.
Little easy one. Start the predictions off here with a nice layup.
I don't know if you had seen like that little report where Mustafa said that if he doesn't win, that he's going to leave WWE.
Well,
yeah.
All his bags are packed. Nonetheless, I did see, however, on Monday Night Raw, whenever Mustafa Ali was given a little video or backstage interview, in Gorilla. He was talking to somebody about how this winning this championship would mean so much to him, and he's gonna do it and all that, blah blah blah. Brock Lesnar literally walks in front of the camera, walks in front of their interview, and just points at Mustafa Ali and says, "Get a life, kid." Do you not see that?
I did not.
Oh
see that.
my
Yeah,
gosh, dude! It was so hilarious. You need to go watch that because it was the most random thing. Like, what the hell? I had no idea that was even happening, but it's just Brock Lesnar being Brock. I'm with you on that though. Gunther for sure is going to retain his championship successfully. I'm not sure if you noticed this or not, but on WWE's website they have a little Intercontinental Championship banner, and they have all the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time. Stone Cold Steve Austin's on there. Shawn Michaels is on there, and they actually added Gunther to that.
Oh, okay.
I forgot who the other one was. I'm trying to remember. Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was the other one. There's 4 wrestlers that were on there, and Gunther was added, so that tells me he ain't losing this title anytime soon. He's going to be defending it at SummerSlam in Detroit, Ford Field. Cannot wait for that. Ooh, we get a little face-to-face interaction. Let's see what LA Knight's saying real quick. Ooh, okay. I'm sure you heard what he said there. Maybe a little off mic. Some good stuff there by LA Knight, who does pick up the win successfully over Rick Boogs. Let's see here. Up next, we get a Karrion Kross promo, who pretty much just, is addressing AJ Styles. He says when a man is focused on one singular goal, it's easy for him to forget about the danger and, all the bad stuff that just lie awaiting him or whatever. He literally just said it. I'm paraphrasing, but you get what he's saying. It was good stuff. Really good because it does make sense. AJ Styles focused on the World Heavyweight Championship, focused on Seth Rollins, while Karrion Kross is trying to say, don't take your attention off of me because I'll take your freaking head off. Mm-hmm. So you do like that. Obviously, anytime that Scarlett appears on our TV, that segment alone is at least a B-plus grade. But let's see here. Karrion Kross. And that's leading now to what's up next, which is AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross in a one-on-one match here on SmackDown. The show just continues to be good for a pre-tape show. Now let's get back into some of our predictions here. SmackDown Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Natalya? What the? Did I miss something?
I don't know about that one.
Did I?
This is kind of yeah.
I mean, 2 layups to start because obviously Rhea Ripley defending, and I guess it's just your yearly. Let's give Natalya a championship match. I'm really not sure, to be completely honest with you. It's a little bit strange.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna stay on the Rhea Ripley side. Don't understand why Natalya is in this, but yeah.
Raw Women's Championship match just announced: Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
I don't know about this one. This
has the potential to swerve.
This was the match that I'm kind of interested in, more than all the other ones at the moment. But I still want to see Bianca Belair win that, take it home.
I want to see her win it, but I wouldn't be shocked if Asuka does. And also, can we please freaking switch the belts? The shit is...
Yeah. I was about to say that too.
It's confusing. It's just, it's something that I don't understand why they're delaying it. We don't even need to see it. It doesn't need to be a segment, but it's obvious. It's a distraction. I was reading the match card. I could see SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus. I was like, wait, what? Hold on. Oh my gosh, yeah, she has the SmackDown Championship on Raw. Makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, let's switch it up.
The only thing I would say about that is just whenever Bianca Belair came out, that's where I was kind of confused, because of course had the red belt on and everything. And I don't know, man. I'm with you on it, but maybe they have something up their sleeve for her, I don't know. For sure.
No doubt. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. That was a tough one to say with my swollen face. I apologize. Trish Stratus versus Becky. Another one that has the potential to go either way. Which one you leaning? Or do you want me to go first? I made you go first on each one of these.
I was ready. Yeah, go for it.
Becky gets the win. I just feel like it would be a little bit of a disservice. Trish had a one-on-one match. I think it might have been like Survivor Series or something with Charlotte a few years back, and Trish took the L. She'll probably do the same for Becky Lynch and put her over and allow Becky Lynch to get the one up. Now, there is a way for this to, I guess, be smoothly done. Who has not been featured in a while who was involved in this?
Yes, that's what I was just about to
Who was attacked backstage?
Yeah, Lita.
Yes, exactly. So there's a chance Lita goes out there and, hits her with a little bit of a swanton bomb, maybe a little bit of a twist of fate.
Yeah.
And, causes Trish the match. Becky Lynch steals the win. We get a Trish versus Lita feud because they're both part-timers. We get a shot, a promo week after week after week leading up to possibly their final match against each other at a pay-per-view such as SummerSlam.
See,
a big
like
one.
It. I'm with it. I mean, all four, I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind, like, where was she? What was she just fell off the face of the earth, I guess. But definitely would like to see her do some type of distraction in a way, help. But yeah, I'm definitely going to roll with Becky Lynch getting this win.
All right, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Just a one-on-one match, maybe unsanctioned. I don't know. Cody's definitely at a disadvantage because he's got a messed up arm.
Oh,
does he get the win here?
Whenever he's hit him with the
Kimura lock or the?
No, I had seen whenever Brock Lesnar hit him with like the keg, whatever.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Dude, that was pretty interesting right there.
Next time we pause this, I need to actually. We need to show you the Mustafa Ali Get a Life kid. But so Cody Rhodes or Brock?
I'm going Cody here. I mean, he already, so he just needs to keep going with that, like I said, it's making it more believable for me to see him in these type of matches, these type of situations, I guess. But yeah, definitely gonna ride with him.
Undisputed. Oh, I'm going with Cody Rhodes as well.
Gotcha.
Just I will say, yeah, just it's gonna be tough. I don't know how the hell he's gonna do it. My gut just says, how are they gonna make him lose here? And dude, Saudi Arabia, they are behind Cody Rhodes at the press conference where he was at. They gave him one of the biggest woes, and they started a "We love you" chant. We love you. Yeah. We love you. I mean, it's just like, hey, you don't hear those every day, But yeah, I'm going with Cody Rhodes. Up next, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will defend them against the undisputed Universal WWE Champion Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I think, okay, I'm just going to go with this. Sami, KO, and this is my little twist on it. Uso's going to have something to do with Roman and Solo losing.
Specifically Jimmy.
Something.
I mean, they're just putting it right there for us. Like,
yeah,
it's like I'm trying to think. There was an episode of South Park where they were the president. Pretty much, the kids were trying to investigate like some 9/11 stuff, and they eventually met up with someone who pretty much led them in the direction to feel like it was a conspiracy. Like pretty much it was an inside job, and that the United States government wanted you to know that. They wanted you to think that. So there was a scene in the episode of South Park where the president, I think it was George Bush at the time, he was like walking around and he had like some papers behind his back. He was like, "It's all right here in our secret plan's all right here in these papers." And he's like, walks away, like drops them because he wanted them to find them or whatever. So I feel like that's kind of what WWE is doing. They're just like, they want us to think, oh, here you go. Jimmy Uso is going to have a little bit of something to do with this. I'm all for it. Like I said, it's what's making me enjoy the Bloodline storyline again. So yeah,
I think it's definitely just something that's going to have to do with like making that little, what would you say, anger between them,
their hostility or animosity.
There you go. And then that's where it's going to break. Of course, they still have, Jay still has Sammy over here on this side, So I think there's some ways that they could play with it as well.
Yes. Scarlett getting involved here with the AJ Styles and Karrion Kross match. Karrion just made him eat a super kick, but yeah. Oh, here comes Mia Yim to aid her fellow OC member. We'll see if Scarlett gets involved here, gets a little bit physical. Michin is what she's also referred to as. Let's see what goes on. Looks like she's doing a little bit of a chase. Is Scarlett going to leave ringside? She is heading back upstage. Having a run in some platform heels, it looks like. I'm not really sure exactly. I'm not a fashionista, but it looked like she was definitely on some high heels. And that's going to eliminate the women from the equation, and we are going to get a one-on-one between Karrion Kross and AJ Styles. Now back to this Undisputed Tag Team little prediction. I do think that Kevin and Sami are going to win. it makes sense. That was such a big moment that they won the titles at WrestleMania. Like, they're not going to take them off of them in May. You know, they just barely won them in April. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But one thing I will say, can we freaking just have them come out to one song? Just take turns whose song. I'm tired of the Kevin Owens comes out, turns around, we get Sami Zayn's music. Like, okay, that right there is getting old. Like, so I need these guys to for sure, like, just take turns, all right? Me personally, Kevin Owens' song is way better, so I'm going to just come out to Kevin Owens' song, you know, or just alternate. But we don't need to hear both every freaking time. I just feel like that. I mean, obviously, and how does Kevin Owens not feel secondary when he's always the one who comes out first?
Yeah.
And then the massive pop for Sammy. So that's just something I wanted to get off my chest there. It just kind of bothers me. Oh, yeah, another thing. Let's bring back the blue ropes, damn it.
Dang.
Yeah, while it's on my mind,
that,
I'm going to say it every freaking episode until it happens. But let's see here. Moving on. Oh, there's only one more match to talk about. And I need to pinch myself because I can't believe that I'm doing a wrestling podcast here and I'm about to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, it's just something that I didn't think would ever happen. I didn't think that title would ever come back. And the fact that they did bring it back, I mean, it looks a little bit different. You know, it's not going to always look the same. And it is what it is. It's not ugly by any means. I like the championship. I like the look. I feel like it's going to grow on me. Was not a fan of the United States Championship whenever they made that switch initially, but over time, I became a really big fan of it, and I like it a lot. Same thing with the Intercontinental. The one that Gunther has right now, I do think that there was better ones in the past. Same with the U.S., but the current one hasn't grown on me quite as much as the United States one, but I do fully anticipate the World Heavyweight Championship eventually being my favorite championship in the all of WWE. And not only that, I'm a little bit bummed that it's not on SmackDown, just being honest. I understand we got Roman. It's cool. Like, he's been on SmackDown since I've been doing this. So it does feel a little bit comforting to just have that, you know, that security of knowing that we got the big dog, the tribal chief, and all of his storylines are going to be taking place on our show.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, just the 10-year-old kid in me, or myself as a 10-year-old kid would definitely, you know, like to see the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown. And at some point, hopefully we do get it, because that would be cool. I'm just being honest. But what do you think about this? I'll let you predict who you think is going to be the first World Heavyweight, or the newest World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh, man. This one, I mean, there was a little, video package, you know, given for Seth Rollins and AJ Styles just a little while ago in the show and everything like that. And I'm just saying it, Seth Rollins wins, but his video was more interesting than AJ Styles. I don't know what it was about it, you know, but they just made it seem...
It was a sit-down interview with Corey Graves.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and they were just going back, and I mean, it was a video package, but yeah, they were showing him, like, AJ Styles was just a bunch of highlights of him, like, and commentary talking about it,
like that, you know, so I was kind of just like, man, I felt like they were just giving a little bit more on the Seth Rollins side, so I'm already kind of just like leaning that way, you know, so... And, of course, he got the crowd behind him, so I think that's a major factor, too.
Oh, it definitely is. No doubt. Yeah, I'm going with Seth Rollins, too. He's the first World Heavyweight Champion. Makes so much sense. He's put the company on his back for a very long time. Whenever he was WWE World Heavyweight Champion, after winning it at WrestleMania 31, he never actually lost it. He had to relinquish it after tearing his knee up, blowing it up on a live event, too, at that. So, yeah, AJ Styles is... not AJ Styles, sorry. I was literally looking at him on the screen as I said that. But Seth Rollins he looks like a World Heavyweight Champion. He deserves to be the World Heavyweight Champion. He's held every single title in the WWE, including the NXT Championship. This is just going to be another notch in his belt, no pun intended. Yep. You know, he's going to have this strap hanging up on his wall, similar to how we have our belts hanging up over there. Seth Rollins has something similar in his wrestling gym in Davenport, Iowa. Black and Brave. The only reason why I know that is because our good buddy Tino Valentino went and trained there, and would always post pictures, has pictures with Seth Rollins. So yeah, he has all of his tag team belts there. Every single belt he's won is hanging on the wall at their wrestling gym. So I know that was probably surreal for our buddy Tino to see that, but yeah, Seth, man, he's in 24 hours, or not even 24 hours, in like 12 hours. I'm not good at math, okay?
We're
16 hours. Right in between there. Seth Rollins will be crowned the first of this version of the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, and I was going to say, man, the thing that was impressive is, like, he was going through, like, so many losses, and it was still like the matches that he was putting on was still good to see, So it was kind of crazy.
He never lost his credibility despite losing.
Yeah, so he was like, instead of declining, I felt like that was just making him go to where, he needs to get to this point, now that he's had so many L's on him. But
the crowd behind him too, like no other right now with his theme song.
Mm-hmm.
But right now on the screen, we got AJ Styles and Karrion Kross putting on a little bit of a barn burner, so to speak. A little bit of a slobber knocker if JR was here, but we'll let this match play out. We'll take a quick break. Whenever we get back, we'll tell you who won and how. And we are back. AJ Styles successfully defeats Karrion Kross with a phenomenal forearm. And he rides into Night of Champions on a nice little winning streak. Yeah. So he may not have the belief of us here on the SmackDown review and many, many others who believe Seth Rollins is going to win, but he does have a little bit of momentum if there is such thing. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
I was gonna say the thing that got me was like how confident Karrion Kross was in that little promo. Saying that AJ Styles should be, more concerned about him. I guess you could say, but yeah, I definitely didn't think AJ Styles was gonna get that dub right there.
You didn't think so?
I did not.
I knew he was going to win.
I just thought it was going to be a little bit more.
I didn't think it was going to be a clean win.
Because I'm already looking like to maybe they're setting up something after this for AJ. Maybe Karrion Kross keeps this going in a way. But yeah, definitely thought Karrion Kross was going to get the dub there.
No doubt, no doubt. See, I just knew that because he was going into such a big match, they didn't want him to be on a loss. That just wouldn't have really made a whole lot of sense for them building up the match. Like tomorrow, you want both guys as hot as they could possibly be. So, but I just thought that Karrion Kross was going, or there was going to be some type of shenanigans.
Yeah, or
some
something.
Hook or crook.
Something.
To cost Karrion Kross this match. But we're at a commercial break right now. So us ourselves are going to take another break. Whenever we get back, we will continue the review. Okay, we get the main event, which is the Kevin Owens show with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa as the special guest. This bad boy got spicy real quick.
Oh, yeah.
The Usos come out. Paul Heyman comes out. Obviously, Roman Reigns and Solo comes out. But the moment where things went from okay to holy, you know what, was whenever Jimmy Uso referred to himself as the tribal chief. And it doesn't really matter what context or how he said it. It was very clear how he meant it. And immediately after his lips closed, Roman Reigns' music hits. Comes to the ring like we haven't seen him come to the ring in a long time. Very determined, had no championships, obviously. Paul Heyman was holding him. He was by himself. Just a beeline straight to the ring. Knocks the microphone out of Jay's hand. Knocks it out of Jimmy's hand. Knocks it out of Sammy's hand. A lot of intense stare downs before, or I guess during all of those. But Kevin Owens eventually hits a stunner on Roman Reigns, and that's whenever the brawl ensues. And we get pretty much the Usos coming to the aid. They defend Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. They go after Kevin and Sammy and eventually get the upper hand. Roman gets a spear. Solo's the real one who, hits the Samoan spike on each of them, takes them out, and it's pretty much the ultimate equalizer there. But then we get that vicious spear by Roman. And after the little brawl ended, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are, standing in the ring. The Usos come in, and they have the Undisputed Tag Team Championships in their hands. Jay very easily hands the championships over to Solo. And then it was Jimmy's turn to hand them to Roman, and he was very hesitant. You could tell he didn't want to. In fact, he never did. Jey Uso took them from him, and he's the one that gave them to Roman, in which Roman had all 4 championships in his hands, and he held it up, and that's pretty much how SmackDown went off the air. But there was a lot of body language, a lot of no words had to be spoken. If you just watched how this scene was playing out or how this segment was playing out, you would be able to really quickly identify, the elephant in the room, and that is Sami Zayn is right. It is over. It might not be, officially over, but it's over. The bloodline is, tomorrow, within the next week, whether it happens tomorrow or the 1,000-day celebration next week on SmackDown, you can just guarantee it that something big is going to happen.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there, man. Of course, this is just little like, what do you say, chef's kiss, you know? Everything's starting to just happen, you know, and it's unfolding beautifully, I guess you could say, and I'm all for it. But Jimmy, man, I feel like he's kind of just taking like the hardhead title from Jay, you know, so given the fact that Jay's the one that's kind of like smoothing over like the whole situation and everything between them, you know. Before, you'd figured Jay'd be all up in Roman's face type stuff rather than Jimmy on this side. But
yeah, one would say he's cruising for a bruising.
That's for sure. I mean, I don't see how it's supposed to play out, man, but I'm so ready for this just to kind of come along, I guess you could say, and get that little wrap to it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like there's going to be a very big plot twist and probably a couple others after that. But nonetheless, this has been one of the best storylines that we've gotten in a long time. And it's finally starting to unravel a little bit and unfold. And, you know, I'm here to see how it ends up ending. But that is how the SmackDown review is going to be ending here tonight. We do thank you guys for obviously tuning in, for listening to this show and making it part of your preparation as you get ready to watch Night of Champions. You heard our predictions. This is a pretty chalk card, if I will say. Once you get towards the top, though, you really never know how it's going to happen. But for the most part, I'll say it's about 50-50. There's half layups, half, you know, these matches can go either way. But any shout-outs, any plugs before we sign off here?
Oh, of course, man. I definitely want to give a shout-out to the listeners, of course, making this a part of your week every week, I guess you could say. And, of course, Patreon members, Discord members, football function. Of course, give you a shout out on this end, man. Of course, you are doing y'all's thing over there. But yeah, definitely want to wrap it up like that. Close it out.
Yep. Hope you guys all have a damn good rest of your weekend. Walk passionately in the direction of your dreams. And we'll talk to you soon. Go Celtics.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.